The National Weather Service in Taunton has issued a tornado warning for southern Middlesex County and eastern Massachusetts, Cambridge and downtown Boston by 8:45
Don't want to do it.
p.m. The safest place to be during a tornado is in a
Ball.
Right.
So we've got the 3 knights at the end there. Did a really good job of closing out that point.
Very good. Hustle on my right. We should have Malicious on my left.
Seconds. 20 seconds. 30 seconds. 20 seconds.
The National Weather Service in Taunton has issued a tornado.
All right. Welcome back to the Maynard Paintdrome. We need a more exciting name for this place. Let's get the marketing department on that. All right. This is one of our. I believe this is our last prelim game. We got Malicious versus New England Invasion. Malicious with a breakout. Ooh, yeah. Fortunately, Malicious immediately loses their player going out to that Dorito side. At the same time, it looks like Invasion's losing 2 players. So right now, advantage Malicious. Malicious is better position and up bodies, although I do say that Invasion has that Dorito side wedge, which is a big bunker. Invasion realistically does not have a chance to push the snake at this point. We got 1 player left alive, and he's kind of stuck in what we're calling the Cali. But at the same time, the Invasion player makes the move up to that D4, so he's in a good position. Janelle's back is at some danger right now to that D4. Janelle's Baby Shark of Malicious asking for a check. Ref comes in and checks. I think he's going to call him clean. Yep. Oh, another Invasion player walking off. So right now, the snake side is completely wide open. If Malicious recognizes that, they could easily go down it. So really, it's just that Dorito holding things up. I think it's obviously too early to towel it, but I can't think the odds are very good because I believe it's at least a 4-on-1 right now. And Malicious knows he's there, so there's not even an element of surprise that can be had. The only thing Malicious does not seem to be aware of is the fact that there's nobody else left alive. If they were, they'd go ahead and start making a push. Yeah. Ooh, that could be a tough place to live. Janelle makes a decision, no, and he makes it work. I think it made it work because he got his gun up first. So Lorenzo went into what I would call a not a great bunker. I take it back. There was one player left alive for Invasion back in that corner. My bad call. Lorenzo made a push to what is not a great bunker, but he had his gun up first, so the D4 for Invasion he got clipped first. So good point for Malicious. Malicious is one of the strongest teams right now that's going to be going into the playoffs. So really they just want to keep some momentum going. And we are in X-Ball, so we're going to have a minute or two break before the next one. Looks like Rand might be just staying on the field. He's not even going to head off. Just flip sides and go again. All right, Invasion. Invasion's path is, if I'm not mistaken, they are also have 2 wins on the day, so this is a rather important match for them. Yep, they have 2 wins on the day. So I think it's safe to say both these teams are going to move into the playoffs based on what I've seen so far, but they both want the #1 seed. I will once again take a moment to pitch Cam's Crew or go to Destroyer Lifestyle. Maybe buy some nice gear, especially this shirt is available. And the proceeds are going to go to help the Montoya family. Not just the Montoya family. The proceeds will go to help other kids going through these kind of cancer challenges right now. So whatever you do, you'll help a good cause. Maybe get some cool gear out of it too. Montoya family's been with us for a long, long time in this community. I was playing paintball with his grandfather, Butchie. Butch Montoya, Cam's grandfather, late 90s or something like that. So then Butchie's son, Anthony, goes into the sport, and maybe one day, God willing, we're going to have Cam out here on the field.
20 seconds.
All right. Here we go. We got 20 seconds. They're trying to settle some reffing controversy over there. Invasion is certain that they got done dirty. Of course, you're always certain that you got done dirty as a paintball player. We have Malicious on my right, Invasion on my left. Malicious up by 1. There's still 10 minutes on the clock. Interesting run, Pat. Oh, one of the Malicious player walks right off. Adam Rand asks for a check. He walks off. Invasion player walks off. So we should be 4-4 at the moment, pending on this check. Nope. So another Invasion player walks off from the tower, Snakeside Tower. Janelle is already into the D3. He's moving it well down the snake. At the same time, Invasion counters by getting to that D4. I don't think either player is aware the other one's there, though, nor do they have a clean shot at each other, even if they were. Right, so the Invasion player is taking a ton of heat. He's doing what he should do, which is to stay pretty chill. Adam Rand made an attempt to bounce out to that Dorito corner. The refs are calling him hit. He's been playing for a while. There could be a penalty here. Yeah, there is going to be a penalty. The ref's struggling to find his yellow. So Adam Rand made a move out to the Dorito corner in an attempt to stabilize the situation, which was not a bad move. By the way, Janelle is still alive, although he's going to get blown up. Adam Rand made an attempt to get out to that Dorito side corner to stabilize the situation. But as he did so, I think he took a pack hit, is my guess, because it was a minor. Refs were yelling at him. He just didn't hear it. So he kept going. By the time the refs catch up to you, you know, it's going to be a minor. So I'm sure most of the people listening to this broadcast already know how the reffing works in these situations. But here's the deal. If a ref sees a hit and they can get to you before it affects the game, they're probably just going to pull you and make no penalty of it, right? If a ref sees a hit and they can't get you out of the game fast enough, and by the way, it's not the ref's responsibility to get you out of the game. It's your responsibility to know your hit. So I'm just telling you how the refs are allowed to not throw a flag on you for playing after hit. And that is if they see something that's, well, not super obvious, like a hit on the butt pack or something like that, and they can get to you fast enough that you're not having an effect on the game, they're not required to throw a flag in that situation. And that's subjective, right? So, of course, if you're on the other team, you're screaming that the guy was playing on late and, you know, he should have gotten a major or whatever. But that's a ref's discretion, and it's going to be different every time. So, now that said, if you have a hit that's not obvious and you shoot somebody during that time before the ref can get to you, that's going to be a major. They're going to pull you, and they're going to pull 2 of your teammates off for that infraction, even though maybe you didn't know you're cheating. And that's one thing about the modern rules is a lot of players think that when they get a flag, that the ref's saying they're cheating. That's not really how the rules work. The rules don't care that much about whether you know you're cheating. The rules are about trying to create the most fair situation out of what just occurred. So Sometimes you have a non-obvious hit, like on the top of your hopper on your butt pack. You're going to get a penalty. Again, it's not the ref so much saying that you're a cheater. It's just the ref saying, hey, this was unfair, and the rules, this is what we have within our rules to try to make it fair. And it probably still won't be perfectly fair. So, in any case, we're back to having a tied-up match. We got an Invasion versus Malicious, 9 on the clock, which is a lot of time. Invasion has to be a little bit happier. They were not happy coming off that first game, losing to Malicious, but now they're back to tied up. So, we got 10 seconds to the point. Here we go. Maybe, I don't know whether the Invasion player got a false start or just he's just a little bit faster than his teammates. But the home player for Invasion looked like he got his gun up a little bit fast. One of the Invasion player walks off. One of the Malicious players walk off.
John L's fighting out of the money here this tower and wins that gun battle, so it's a 4-on-3 now for Malicious.
Malicious makes the bump up the middle to that little mini wall. At the same time, Invasion makes their bump up to that D4, which is frankly a better bump.
John L moves over to Snake 1. It looks like Taylor Strange is over in the D3. Pablo's in the center here for Malicious Intent, trying to keep Taylor from going to the Dorito 4. I think this is Kennedy over here in the Cali. Probably Austin here in the command center for Invasion.
Invasion D3 player, the Wedge, feels confident enough he can play over the top. But they finally start putting paint his way. He's got to pull back. Baby Shark up to the D3. You know what I've seen as the day goes along is these teams are probably taking more interest in the D3 than the 50. I'm sorry, S3, the Snake 3, than the Snake 50. There's clearly what they believe to be a better shot or a more important lane to cover from it.
Yeah, we got a concession there.
Invasion towels out. So I've seen that.
This is a committed star match, so let's put John L down with 2 kills in that match.
Yep.
I'm sorry, that point.
So I've seen that a lot so far, and that is teams. I'm kind of surprised that a Snake player doesn't go ahead and finish that move up to the 50, but they seem very content to stay at that Snake 3, that mini wall, mini brick, and fight from it. So probably has a better shot over on the Dorito side.
Yeah, and you're wider, so you can protect yourself down the wire. If someone comes in to match you, you can tuck back in. If you're in this 50 and you're inside, they can just creep right on top of you. All right, so we have 2-1 Malicious over Invasion. Plenty of time, 7:51. Again, I'm pretty sure these teams are both in the playoffs no matter what.
Yep.
So hopefully we have the scores being, they should be all set. I think we could even run the playoffs now if we needed to.
Skip out on this match?
Yeah, just, put this in as a 2-1 and see what happens.
Move on with our lives.
But we got committed stars here. Malicious looks like they're coming back out with T-Bags, Adam Rand. Looks like Austin Mayo.
Yep.
Taylor Strange, Chan, Andy Hamill. I think this is Mr. DeJesus. Malicious has got Thomas Turk, Tommy Greenleaf, and Kyle Kilroy.
So Malicious in the lead, 2-1. A lot of time on the clock, though.
20 seconds.
This is, if you've missed some of this, Anthony, there's a little bit of heat going on here. I'm hearing a lot of chatter from both pits. They are not, this is not a super friendly, happy time for them.
Let's see if they start with 6 guys, because that would be an automatic point.
Oh, my God, you're right. Malicious has, oh, there's a guy going off. Malicious very close to starting with 6.
Big move.
What is the penalty for starting with 6? I don't know.
You automatically, if he doesn't even get off the field, it's an automatic point.
You lose the game.
Yeah.
You lose that point.
T-Bags with aggressive move up to 50 off the break. John L is at the 200. Adam Rand's in the command center. Kyle Kilroy is over here in the Cali, which puts Nico, I believe, in the home bunker.
Invasion's a little bit soft over here on the Snake side, but they did make a good move up to the Dorito. Oh, try to go a bridge too far. So Invasion player tries to make the bump up to that D4, and that was just foolish because he ran right through a gun. T-Bag's just waiting for him.
Plus the communications was not there.
Another Invasion player walking off from the middle from that command tower. Oh, T-Bags takes a walk. Not sure where that came from. Maybe got a little sloppy.
I think it's a 4-on-3 right now, or is it a 4-on-2?
I believe it might be a 2.
So Invasion definitely has home and Cali.
Yeah,
I don't know if they have anybody else.
I believe that might be it. Invasion makes a decision to try to spread it wide. I'm not sure whether he made it in clean. He did not. I like the idea of spreading it wide, but he tried to go too far in one run.
Probably see a concession right now by Nicole.
Yeah. There it is. Good call.
Only down 2, 6:30 left. Still, time's not a factor.
Anybody stand out to you that game? Teabags had a great move up the middle. Let's start off. He
And he
had a little bit of survivability problem at the end there.
He did shoot Taylor Strange, who was making that move across, and had no idea he was there. So I always tell teams that I'm coaching is we allow someone to get to a spot, that's one thing. If we allow them to get there unseen, that's something else. And that's what happened there. Is that bunker we talked about is not really a great bunker unless you get there, you don't know. So Taylor didn't know, walked right into a gun. So Teabags definitely did his job. Is it a star-worthy job? I mean, I almost want to give it to the coach versus the player at that point.
Yeah.
But he had to execute the play. Great job by him.
We'll put him on a maybe.
Yeah, we'll put him on a maybe.
Yeah, just a little maybe.
I feel John L. again played solid. Adam Rand played solid.
Mm-hmm.
So
I don't think Janelle had as big of effect on the game though.
No. But he's there at the end of the game. He's alive.
Mm-hmm.
This is a real big point right here for Invasion. If they lose this,
Yeah. Now that said, if they lose this, I believe they're still going to the playoffs. They just might be drawing the 4 seed instead of the 2 or even the 1.
But Alpha Gang ended up winning, so they're 3-0. So the idea of them playing Malicious in the semifinal round is gone. So they're definitely going to be at least the 2 seed.
Yeah.
So the only way actually Malicious could play them is if they lose this match. So if you were talking to them, you might want to be like, hey, what if we lose this one?
Yeah, the funny thing is I did mention that to Adam Rand during the lunch break.
Okay.
I said, you guys might want to watch where Alpha Gang's going and end up in their bracket in the semifinals. If you want to bounce them out in the semis, and then you still have to go and win the whole thing. A little more aggressive breakout from Invasion. Real aggressive breakout from Invasion.
I like it. They're getting nice and low over there.
They do lose their home player. When one of the Malicious player takes a walk. There's another one that can take a walk, and it's a penalty. Ian pulls out that center tower, Ian pulls out the can. So that is 3 players walking off from Malicious real fast. So for Malicious, that just leaves what you're calling the Cali, which is that backline mini wall, and the home. Invasion is just...
Yeah, this is when the snake just needs to go all the way down.
Yep.
But see, you go sloppy, you start losing bodies, or you go one at a time and you start losing bodies.
There's another body coming off, you're right.
Nice shot right there by Andy Hamill on the home.
Now we're back to, I think we may be back to 2-on-2. There should be flags on that.
Well,
shouting from the pit.
That guy in the home is potentially hit.
Understood. But if you're shouting from the sidelines in the pits, we got to start throwing penalties on that stuff, or it just gets out of control. I'm a huge proponent of not allowing yelling from the other side of the net. So you had both an Invasion player yell after he was dead yelling, and their pits yelling onto the field. So there's a 1-on-1. Ooh, good move.
But again, as much as the chaos that happened, if the snake player, Andy Hamill, just goes all the way down, game's over.
Yeah, Chris Alt and Invasion's not happy with the.
Yep, as he should be.
Yeah. Do you know who that was for Malicious that finished that out?
It was Tommy Greenleaf.
It was Greenleaf.
And you don't want to leave him on a one-on-one.
No.
So he definitely got shot in the back. Did it break? I don't know. I didn't see for sure that it broke.
You believe Greenleaf was hit in the back?
He 100% got hit in the back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna.
And Andy hit him, but I don't know if and they called him out without checking to see if it broke. So.
If a ref is calling a player out repeatedly and he's in his bunker still, how is that not a penalty that's affecting the game?
Yeah, that is a fair argument.
It is.
Yeah, so Invasion is arguing that if the refs are telling him to leave and he doesn't leave, that should be a penalty. That's a fair argument. Frankly, Invasion lost that point because of their sloppy way they finished the game.
Correct.
To be really honest, they just seem to throw away bodies.
Yeah.
And as human nature is, you're going to kind of focus on the one injustice, which undoubtedly had an effect on the game, but they just threw away a lot of bodies there at the end. There's not a lot of love between these teams, by the way. Maybe off the field in a different situation, but right now they do not like each other.
So that's a major, or at least a minor, and that's a point.
No, Chris, your math.
All right, we got Invasion on the blue side.
Sorry, I'm listening to the pits. I'm listening to the arguments at play, and they're some of it is correct, and some of it is a little bit fantasy. But all right, so we have Malicious on my right, Invasion on my left. Invasion down big time. Almost 5 minutes on the clock. It's theoretically possible they come back, but they.
Yeah, but now you've got Malicious where they want to be, right? They're up 3. They can just say, hey, even if we lose this point, but we kill 2 minutes, it's a win.
Yep.
So.
Come at me, bro, I believe is the phrase.
Yeah. You know, the only thing good about, potentially a missed call there is that they're both going to make the playoffs. So.
Yeah. Malicious Intent with a relatively conservative breakout. They're doubled up at home. They got that tower up the middle. The Dorito side can. Wow, the tower makes a nice move up to the inside Dorito. We haven't seen that play a lot today. And then they immediately fill in that tower. So we still have 5 alive for Malicious. Man, Rand is out there playing in one of those beanies. I cannot play in the middle of summer with a winter beanie on. I do not understand players that can do that.
Yeah, and I was going to potentially give Adam a point, but he got a penalty stupid in one of those last points.
Yeah.
So Tommy Greenleaf is obviously in this contention for star. I feel John Els played pretty well.
Austin Mayo has just walked off for Invasion. Very slow bump up into that Dorito side wedge for Invasion.
I think that's Nico. He's going to have to wrap and really put Adam in on that command center if he wants to take that D4. But Thomas Turk's playing the tape on him too. So, and I think even the home Tommy Greenleaf is shooting that way. So the snake has the ball. Whoever's in the snake here, it's probably no, it's not Chan. Whoever's in the snake, it might be Sean Kennedy. He needs to come down all the way to this side.
We're under 3.5 right now.
Yeah, I'd like to see somebody actually play this snake the right way. The only one that was playing it well was Grant in that first match, and I never saw him play it again.
I mean, I think these teams have deprioritized the snake. Like, it's pretty clear pattern over the course of the day that teams are prioritizing the Dorito side as the push side, and they're deprioritizing the snake as the push side. I'm seeing teams assign to the snake side their less aggressive players.
And everybody says paintball is a game of angles. You know, it's a chess game, blah, blah, blah. And if you get down this end of their snake, all of their guns now are turned, and everybody on your team can now take a 50-yard line bunker if they want to.
True. Player coming off for Malicious, they lose their snake side tower. So that said, maybe the bump in trying to get into the snake is a high-risk enough affair that teams are just saying it's not worth the risk. Not to never do it, but not to make it a focal point of their game plan.
But see where he is now?
Yeah.
He could have been fighting from here at any point during the game.
Yeah. And, there's also something to be said. If all the teams at a tournament have recognized that a field – oh, there's a move coming. I'm going to shut up for a second.
Valuable time coming off the clock here.
Yeah, true. We're down under 2 minutes. Malicious player walking off. I think that's it. So this is where I'm going to agree with you. If every team at a field at a tournament, at an event, looks at the layout and goes, well, the Dorito side's the push side. Screw the snake side. We're going to push it. Well, there is an opportunity there because it means there's not going to be an awful lot of resources to stop you from pushing down what is the sub-optimal side of the field. So, yeah, there's a play there. But, again, what I'm seeing is teams are literally assigning their less aggressive players to the snake side today. They're definitely assigning their attackers to the Dorito side.
So we got 146 to the point. Obviously been an X ball this whole match. 144 left. Enough time to score 2 points? Yes. 2 conventional points? Absolutely not. So we'll see how fast they can win or lose this next point. Again, these two might be seeing each other right away back in the playoffs. We don't know.
Yep. Instantly.
We know Alpha Gang's going to go in 1 or 2. Malicious is going to go in 1 or 2 if they win.
Yep.
And
same for Invasion.
So,
but they're not in the driver's seat in this match, obviously.
Right. I think Invasion winning this match, there is no chance. Tying it, there's a potential. There's no overtime in the prelim. So, if this becomes a tie, then Alpha Gang will take the #1 spot.
So, who's our 4th team going into the playoffs?
It's either the Knights
point differential issue.
Yeah, it's going to be the Knights or Maine Axemen.
Axemen, amazing. No disrespect to the Axemen. Let's see here.
That tie really helped them.
Knights went 3-1 their first match. They lost 3-2 their second match. So, okay point differential. And then who else are we talking about here? Invasion. Let's operate on the assumption Invasion loses this, right?
Yep.
Well, no, I think we're saying they're in no matter what.
Invasion, I believe, is in no matter what.
Yeah, they're in no matter what. So Knights have an okay point differential. What were the other teams we were talking about?
Knights and Axemen.
Axemen. I'm sorry. Okay. Axemen. Let's see.
They're going to be negative.
They lost 4-1 their first game to Invasion, and then they won 3-4 versus Riptide.
And then they won 3-2 or something. So I think they're going to be negative.
Yeah, I think right now the Knights are.
So if the Knights are positive, then they should be in.
There you go. We're handing the day to Anthony. Thank you, Kyle.
Yeah, as of right now,
our crack research division.
The Knights should be in. Yep.
And that is despite some of the game plans I've not liked out of the Knights today. Some of their decisions on the field, I'm like, it's not been a great day for them in some of their decisions on how they're attacking fields. But
well, that's a team that was certainly attacking the Dorito side and not attacking the Snake side.
Yep.
And occasionally up the center.
And on that team, I tend to think of Fabio as maybe one of their best attackers. There's another example. They're not assigning him to the snake side. Matter of fact, they're sending him up the middle to what is more of an aggressive hold or aggressive trap, which is, again, telling me that they don't consider the snake super valuable.
Maybe teams don't want to show all their stuff in the prelims either.
Sure.
Which is fine.
Invasion player takes a walk, trying to get out to that Dorito corner. Invasion makes a bump up the middle to that mini wall. So we got 4 Invasion players left alive. Minute and a half.
Malicious is in just a hold. They're shooting those lanes.
Yeah, as they should be. Got a minute 15. Invasion makes the bump sideways into that inside Dorito. Invasion's in the snake 1. Might be able to drop low, crawl around the inside, up in the snake. Yeah, 60 seconds. I only see 1 Invasion player is really forcing the matter, and that's over there on the Dorito side. The rest of the Invasion players seem pretty satisfied to sit where they are. So there's certainly no time left to try to pull out 2 points. That window is closed. Yeah. Without something spectacular, this is probably going to go to a no point. Malicious will move on.
T-Bag's taking the walk. I think Taylor Strange or somebody's on their side of the field, but it's going to be a little too late.
Yeah, and he takes the walk himself.
Andy Hamill's just going to stay in that snake 1.
Wow,
again, this match doesn't have playoff implications except for seeding.
Yep.
This is going to go to a 4-2 win for Malicious. We're
There
going
we
to
go.
give you guys probably about a 5 to 10 minute break, probably closer to 10 minutes as we figure out who's going to make the playoffs, allow these teams to go buy paint, pod up. So we're going to put a 10-minute little break on the clock here, and then we'll be back for the playoffs in about 10 minutes. Stay tuned.
Thank you so much.
The National Weather Service in Taunton has issued a tornado warning for southern Middlesex County and eastern Massachusetts. Cambridge and downtown Boston by 8:45
You don't want to do it.
5 p.m. The safest place to be during a tornado is in a The National Weather Service in Taunton has issued a tornado warning for southern Middlesex County and eastern Massachusetts. Cambridge and downtown Boston by 8:45
You don't want to do it.
5 p.m. The safest place to be during a tornado is in a